Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to our channel. I do hope you're doing fine, and I do hope that you're going to like this video. And in case you're watching for the first time, you're going to hit the subscribe button so that whenever I'm doing such analysis, you're always notified. Ladies and gentlemen, Raila Odinga is losing his popularity day in, day out. And if you have to be realistic, the person who is getting that popularity is none other than Rigathi Gachagau. And the reason behind it, among other reasons, is that Rigathi Gachagau is now seen as the opposition kingpin. And in this analysis, we want to see into reasons why Rigathi Gachagau is getting the popularity that Raila Odinga has enjoyed over quite a long time of period, and why Raila Odinga's popularity is going down day in, day out. And without further ado, let's get into it. Number one is that Raila Odinga entered into a memorandum of agreement with the government. This followed, of course, events that came out all the long way from the financial bill protests, and Raila Odinga came out and agreed with President Ruto on how they are going to work, and even donated some experts to President Ruto's government. On the other side, Rigathi Gachagau was impeached from government. If you follow the events that have happened since the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagau, is that Rigathi Gachagau now is more vocal in addressing issues that are affecting the people of Kenya. If there is a person now being listened to widely by Kenyans, and some of you can disagree with me, but just see even the interviews that Rigathi Gachagau is attending. For instance, there is an interview that Rigathi Gachagau did recently, was it with Obina TV, yes, that Obina TV conducted with Rigathi Gachagau. That interview got over 1 million views within 48 hours. And even if you follow the Sundays and Saturdays that Rigathi Gachagau goes out to attend events, you'll see that a lot of people view what he says, follow what he says, and even take a time to read his comments. You'll find that a lot of people are supporting what Rigathi Gachagau has been doing, and that's mostly addressing issues of concerns to Kenyans that are happening in government. How about Raila Odinga? Raila Odinga of late has not I have not seen Raila Odinga conduct a good number of interviews, and you can tell me that if you can agree with me, is that a lot of Kenyans are slowly stopping to listen to Raila Odinga. Ile utamu ya kusikiza Raila Odinga is slowly going down, even in news. Nowadays, you can rarely see Raila Odinga addressing issues even on national television. And even if he was in a certain event, people are that eager of listening to him is a bit gone down. And this is because of his memorandum of agreement with government, especially for those people who believe the government is going on the wrong way. So that's the reason number one. Reason number two is that Raila Odinga in the 2022 general election just lost with a margin of 200,000 votes. 200,000 votes. So a lot of people who have been supporting Raila Odinga are failing to understand why Raila Odinga had to come in a memorandum of agreement with the government, and even go to an extent of donating some experts to the government side, when a lot of Kenyans were believing that the government was not performing well. A lot of Raila Odinga supporters believe that if Raila Odinga remained intact with his ODM party, continue with the role of opposition, he could at the end of the day got a chance to win the 2027, or the ODM party could have successfully won the 2027 general election, regardless of the candidate they could front, because the government of the day was getting unpopular day in, day out, and especially because a lot of promises were not being fulfilled. Just imagine a scenario where Raila Odinga could have not joined government, Rigathi Gachagau impeached, Raila Odinga maintains the opposition side, no donation of experts to government, and Raila Odinga pushes on to 2027. The ODM party and Raila Odinga could have been very, very powerful in determining who wins the 2027 general election. But as we're speaking today, it seems that there's a contention between ODM party supporting President Ruto, and some people believe that ODM party should front a candidate. You can see how it's not, the ODM wing is not very stable for the 2027 general election. So it's not something that has taken the ODM supporters quite goodly. Another reason is that a lot of promises that were promised by the President Ruto's government have not been achieved. And those people who supported the President Ruto's government in the 2022 general election, who are leaving government. Mtu yeyote ambaye alipigia kura President Ruto, mwenye anatoka government, mwenye anafeel now this government, I'm done with it, it's not my promises, the promises were made are not being achieved, is either going to support Raila Odinga or supporting the side of Rigathi Gachagau. And I can tell you for sure that a lot of people are preferring to support Rigathi Gachagau because, number one, they believe that Raila Odinga is working with government. Although Raila Odinga has come out to say that that's not true, but that's what Kenyans see. So these people are likely to side with Rigathi Gachagau and the opposition at large. The likes of Fred Matiang'i, Natembeya, Eugene Wamalwa, Martha Karua. These people are likely to side with that side. And my last reason into this analysis is that we have the Gen Z factor, and it's going to make a big determinant come 2027. And I've always reminded you this, that 2027, youths born as late as 2008 will be casting votes in that election. Watu walizaliwa as late as 2008 will be making a vote in the 2027 general election, because at that time they will be 19 years old, and most of them will be having votes. And I can tell you that these youths don't understand anything to do with the efforts that the Republic has made. How Raila Odinga has fought for the Republic. The efforts that Raila Odinga has been doing. Raila Odinga is a statesman, and a lot of people appreciate his efforts. But this Gen Z don't know anything to do with that. Kijana ambaye alizaliwa 2008, 2007 doesn't know the impact of Raila Odinga in the democracy of our country, in the independence of various institutions. They don't know how Raila Odinga has fought, and they will not be making a vote in that regard. They'll be making a vote on what they see happening in the current affairs. And now what makes it even more complicated is that the youth form about 60% of the total votes of the Republic of Kenya. And another reason that complicates it even more is that the current youths, compared to the youths that have been happening in the previous years or previous elections, the current youths are widely exposed to technology, social media. Wako TikTok, wako Facebook, wako X, wako YouTube. They know what's happening in the Republic of Kenya. Today, if you walk to a Form 2 class in a secondary school, they have the information of what's politically happening in our republic. If you ask a Form 1 student at home, he'll tell you what's happening. He already has a perception of who, if I am going to vote, who am I going to vote for. A Form 2 student, a Form 3 candidate or student who is going to make a vote in 2027 will already tell you he's already has or his mind made for the 2027. These students this Gen Z are very bright and they are very informed. They already have their minds made because of the fact that they have been exposed to technology and that they have been exposed to a lot of happening in social media, and they follow this happening days in, day out. Now, they already have their minds made, and I can tell you that a good percent of these youths will not vote for the current government. The reason behind it is simple. Even the public opinion polls that are being conducted, that's their expression. If you see what they're talking on TikTok, that's their expression. If you associate with them, a good number of them will give you a different opinion. They either prefer a different candidate. And that's why Rigathi Gachagau and the opposition have become very, very popular. So, Raila Odinga and Edwin Sifuna has always said this, that they lose, Ruto will lose with or without Raila Odinga. So the best thing Raila Odinga could have done, and this might happen at the end of the day, is withdraw his support from government. Come up with a long list of issues, blame government, cancels his memorandum of agreement, and goes on to strengthen the ODM party for the purpose of running for the 2027 general election, and for the purpose of ensuring that ODM is strong to get significant number of seats in the National Assembly, Senate, governor seats, MCS come 2027. Otherwise, if this continues to be the scenario, ODM party will be very, very unpopular come 2027. You can tell me what you think in the comment section. I'll take my time to read and give you a response. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe whenever you are and have a nice days.